Hi, ladies and gentlemen of the board of the Samuel Mudd House. My name is Kelly Miller. I was the case-sensitive psychic medium along with a.ka.'s paranormal team to investigate your amazing historic property. So thank you so much for allowing us to be there and check it out. It was fabulous. We had such a great time, and it was so very interesting. As a psychic medium, I work publicly as a Maven Medium, and I go in and read places quite frequently. And one of the things that I try to not know before I go in is the history of the place. So upon pulling up to your location, I got the name Andrew, which turned out later on was one of the sons' names, which was a nice surprise. But Andrew was one of the first people to make his presence known as I was pulling up. I also did some interesting reading around the property. So when I first get there, I like to do a walk through, not just of the home, but you all were having a fantastically attended board meeting that night. So we kind of walked the property a little bit. And so I was able to walk up across the other side of the driveway, up in the hillsides, and I was picking up a variety of things over there, a lot of different sequences of time happening at the same time. Whether historically or not, that was the case. It's just like one area was the lower area, kind of on the way to where you have the encampment set up. I did see soldiers walking in rows headed that direction. I also saw some people up in the field. We heard some voices up in the field as well. I went up there with two of the other team members, Marlon and Katie, our guest investigator. So we went up in that area and I could kind of see people going to work, rows of people going to work, and I wasn't sure why until we confirmed that with your history, and they were so kind as to kind of validate the plaques that you have amidst your property. So I kind of picked up on those things, but it just seemed like a lot of sequences of time happening at the same time. I also picked up a little girl. I'm still not sure of her relevance, but she was picked up at the home area as well when we pulled up. And going down through our scale, our sensitive scale that O.P.T uses, that's what I'm glancing at here on my lap. Some of the things that we noticed, or I noticed on the scale, but other people had even mentioned about. For me, clairsentience is feeling. So if something touches you, I did get light touching in the kitchen as well as parlor and bedrooms and outside, but it really truly was just kind of like, hey, we're here, kind of for attention. It wasn't anything that was threatening by any means. It was just for attention. Usually on the arms. That's where I usually sense that. Clairaudience, or hearing of things, was more relevant in this instance. I heard a voice in the top field again. Marlon heard that with me. I heard a voice in the upstairs bedroom. This is allowed without equipment. Katie also heard that one. We heard many rumbles outside as if conversations were going on while we were doing the investigating. And I also received that name Andrew upon arriving to your place. We also would hear little sounds as well. It could be, historic home shifting. But in the same right, a lot of times they corresponded to the EVPs we ended up getting. So that was really nice validation about those things. So, yeah, we heard quite a bit on your property, which was really great. We did also experience some smells on the property. So upstairs, we kind of smelled something that was maybe more of a dated, musty smell. And of course, your place is immaculate and beautiful. So please know that that's not what we smelled. But what we smelled was more of the perhaps people who had been there and the tools that they were using. It was upstairs and near the office area. We also got a floral scent outside in front of the home without any flowers blooming, of course. So we weren't sure where that floral scent came from. But several of the girls that were with me also at the time also smelled that too. I am clairvoyant, so I do see and hear and receive message intuitively. The clairvoyance part of that is the seeing part. And I did see a lot of different things, even aside from the visions of the field and the hillsides that I shared with you. There was a lot of shadow play and a lot of kind of like light and shadow. There was a lower mist that was evident. In the parlor at sometimes, depending on the questions we were asking, it would kind of just hang out longer or exit faster. But it was there a few times. And the visions that I received were very vivid at the time of our arrival and our walkthrough. But please know that they were very neutral. It was history on repeat. It was constant presence there. I'm not surprised if you continue to have constant presence there. We did not do any sort of cleansing. This is a historic property. You all seem very comfortable with the energy that you have there. So there were lots of bursts of light and shadows around the property. And then even throughout the time we were there were several times where we would, kind of check in with each other, like, were you just outside? Did you see a flashlight through the window? That sort of thing. Just bursts of light, bursts of shadow, and that sort of thing, which is very in my, lifetime of experience reading and 10-year experience public. This is very common of properties that are like this. So those were the main observations I got from our time with at your property and with you all. And I just again want to thank you because it was a fabulous place. I'm sorry I'm a bit under the weather, and now we have about 4 inches of snow here in Pennsylvania, so I apologize I'm not able to be there with you today, but thank you again, and I really hope to be back because it was a fabulous place. Thank you all so much. Bye-bye.